Hello, welcome to another work together. Today it's just going to be a quick little box. Opens like this, but it also has a card attached to it. We're going to make our card open the other way this time. But the box opens up and you could put whatever you'd like in it. Once you know how to make it, you could even make it smaller, and I thought that this would make a really lovely gift card holder for Christmas. You could put the card on top and then put the gift card inside. But I'm going to show you how to make this one, and then we're going to decorate it as well. So to start off, you need a piece of paper that is 10 by 7. Okay, so I have it on my scoreboard with the 10 along the top, and I'm going to go ahead and score it at 1 inch, 4.5 inches, 5.5 inches, and 9. If you wanted to make it smaller, to make it less deep, these measurements, you just need to make them a little bit smaller. We're just going to go ahead and stick with this one for now. And then I turned it to the 7 side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch and 1 inch, or 1 inch and 6 inches. I just like to turn mine around, I guess. Okay, and then also while you have that out, you're going to need a piece of paper that is 7 inches by 5 inches, and you're going to score this at 3.5, and this is going to be the card for the front of the box. Okay, but let's go ahead and do this first. Put the box together, and you'll see it's quite easy. You could probably make a bunch of these in a day. I don't know if you can tell. Can you see the score lines? The sun is shining a little bright through the curtains in my room, so it's a little bit harder to see, but they are there. What we're going to do is we're going to cut up a straight line, and then I'm going to cut into this square at an angle. I'll show you what I mean. So that's what it looks like. Okay. I cut up a straight line on the part that's attached to the longer rectangle, and then I'm just going to cut up at an angle just to help it make a box a little bit easier. Okay, then we turn it this way and do the same thing on this side. Cut them up at an angle. Okay, and then cut them straight, and then in at an angle like that. And the last one, I'm cutting it straight, and then angling it just a little, and then also at the end. Okay, so when you're finished with your cutting, this is what you're going to be left with. Okay, now we're going to score these, and I'm just working with cream colored cardstock because it matched the pattern paper that I'm using. Okay. And the last one. Now I'm going to open up all my folds and turn it over, and on all of the 6 little squares, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive. Okay. Then I'm going to pick it up, and you're going to decide which side is your bottom. It really doesn't matter at this point. And just line up the edges so the back part of your paper lines up nice and straight. And if you cut your tabs at an angle, it should be fairly simple to do. You just want to line up just your edges like that. And then what I like to do the top to help it go over it, I like to fold it and then stick them, because then I know it goes over it nice and easy. Then I'm going to open it up, fold it back a little bit, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder and put a little pressure down on all those tabs there, just to help make sure that I got a good stick. Okay, and now this is what we have so far. One thing we want to do is put a little I just want to kind of put right in the center a little pull, a little spot. I just put a little tiny circle punch in there so that I have something to pull from to open the box, just like that. Then you take your piece of paper that you cut to the right size, and it's going to get attached to the front of your box, just right on top here. I just like to make sure it matches up evenly with the side, and then stick it down. Okay, and then I'm just gonna open it up, put some pressure on it, and now this is what it looks like. We have a card here, and the box opens. You could put some lovely chocolates in there. You could put all sorts of things, but once you decorate it, then you'll have a nice little card. So let's go ahead and do that. Whoops. Okay, like that. And I just want to grab a little bit of, let's go with this one. I'm just going to tie a little knot on here. Go around twice, and then let's give it a little bow. Just using a little bit of baker's twine with a tiny bit of gold in it. I got this at Target. Okay, there we go. And then trim a little bit off, and we have a nice little bow, and it's gonna stick right there, just like that. And then you have your card, and on the inside we're just going to put a little piece of the paper too. And then because I cut a little bit of it off before I thought about it, I have a little space there. So I'm just going to put some from the top part on the inside, which gives it a nice little finished look. And then you can write right there. I might put a little piece of vellum. and then put a little stamp on the front, and there you have a card that is also your gift box. I thought it looked really cool. And then, since we made that so quickly, let's go ahead and put together one more, and this one, we'll make this one gift card size. So I don't have the measurements for it yet, so let's just go ahead and do what we have here. Let's see if I've got a little card here. Okay. I think that this will work just fine. Let's see what size it is. 2 1/8 by 3 3/8. So we know we need the box to be a little bit bigger than that. Okay, so let's do this first. I'm starting with a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I'm just going to start with the whole thing rather than cutting it beforehand. And I'm going to make my first score mark at 1/2 inch because we don't want this one to be as deep. You could probably do 1/4 if you want to, but I think that would be a little harder to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to score it at, I want to give the card just a little bit of room to move around. So I put my card in there, and it comes to the 2 3/4, so I'm actually going to go to the 2 7/8 mark and score there. And then I need to go 1/2 inch away from that because we want to keep those measurements all the same. So this is 2 1 2 3, 2 3/8. Okay, let's go to 1/2 inch. 3 4. 1 2 3 4. There's 1/2 inch. And then we need to go 2 3/8 over from there, which is 5 1/4. 5 1/4, and make another mark at 1/2 inch. Okay. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. I'm going to put our card back in there, and this time we're going to make our mark at 4. Okay. And then we just want to make a little mark at 4 1/2, and that's where we're going to cut. Okay. So our finished size will be, let's see here. Our paper size will be 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. So that's what you want your paper to be, 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, and then we're going to start this one. The rest of it is going to be the same. We're just going to build it up exactly the same. I'm going to cut the little squares, and I'm going to angle them again. Okay, I'm going to cut up, and then cut in, and in like that, and the last one on this side, I'm going to cut in like that, and then again, and again, and one more time. Okay, that's what it's going to look like when you're finished doing your cutting. Then we're just going to go ahead and crease all of our score marks. and fold and fold and fold. Quite simple. Then we turn it all over and we're going to put adhesive. Whoops, that didn't work very well. We're going to put our adhesive on each square. Whoops, missed one. Okay. Then just determine which is going to be the back of your piece, the bottom I mean, and do the same thing you did for the other one. Line them up, line them up, line them up, just like that. All of your pieces are lined up and you have a bottom. Okay, let's test it out. Card fits in there really good. Okay. And then I like to close it, close the top part, and bring in your tabs. Because then this way when you do this, you know that it's going to fit. Okay. Oops. I forgot one step. And because I didn't push it down, I'm going to do that. When it's smaller, you're going to need to cut your little thumb hole before you fold it if you're going to put a little notch in it, okay? And this little bit right here doesn't have any adhesive on it. Okay. Alright, let's try that again. Fold it up, seal it down, close it down, put the little tabs in there, and then now I'm going to open it up again, and I'm just going to ensure that all of my tabs are firmly pressed down. And there we have our box. Okay. Now it looks like that. It's a cute little gift card box, but we need the card for the cover. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a measurement here. Where's my... I swear I would lose my head if it wasn't attached. Here we go. So this is 2 3/8 by 3 1/2. So I need to cut a piece that is double, depending on how you want to open it up. Do you want the tab to open, the card to open to the top or to the side? I want mine to open to the side, and I have this piece of scratch paper here, which happens to be exactly 3 1/2. So all I need to do is cut it to the right size. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I forgot what size it was. 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3. 2 3/8. Just like that. And then it should fit right on there, and it does. Okay. And then I think for this one, no, I don't want to. Okay. I can do exactly the same thing because I have leftover paper here, except I think I'm going to use the pink one on the cover and the other one on the inside. Okay, so this was 2 3/8 by 3 1/2. I'm going to cut it to not quite 3 1/2 and not quite 2 3/8, and let's see if it fits. Not quite enough. Okay. 1, 2. There we go. And this goes on there just like that. Okay. And then I want to do the same thing for this piece here. This is going to be the one that goes on the inside. Okay, and then I have this little piece here, which I'm going to put around the outside. And this is going to go inside. But because it's so dark, I'm going to need a little something to write on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to 2 by 3, and that will go just like that, and then you'll be able to write on it. Okay, so let's start off with front cover, and we'll put this heart paper on the front cover, just like that. Okay, let's try to do it right. Didn't quite match up. There we go. Okay, and I think for this one I'm going to skip the ribbon, or the twine, I mean. And I'm just going to stick this just like that, and remove. Okay. And then actually I want to remove just a little bit more of this one. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to put the blue inside of the card, and I love tiny little cards like these. They're so fun to work with. Okay. And then I'm just going to stick this inside there, just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to apply adhesive to the back of this card, and I'm going to stick this right onto the box, lining up the edges like so. Then I'm just gonna open it up, and then you can either put a sentiment on the front of it, which I would probably do, and then sign the inside, or you can just leave the front and put a little sentiment on the back. And I think that this just needs one little tiny flower, and it's good. Another thing that you could do to these is put your you could put a piece of ribbon underneath the card, or underneath the top of the card, and then tie the whole thing together, put one underneath the bottom of the box, and then it would essentially be a box closure. There we go. Fluff up the flower a tad. And there you have it. A tiny little box which holds a gift card perfectly. There's a little bit of movement, but not too much. And you could even make it a little bit thinner if you wanted to, but I wanted something that was a little bit easier to work with. Or you could just make the box and throw the card inside too if you wanted to. Anyways, there you have it. 2 boxes with cards on the top. Same pattern. I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy making these. I hope you do try to make it. And I will talk to you all again real soon.